So today is just a fun little video, an idea I saw from a couple other YouTubers. It is 20 products from 20 different brands in 20 minutes. So basically that's like a 1-minute review on all of these products. So let's see how we do. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is Melissa, and today I am bringing to you just a fun little video, an idea that was posted by a couple of other YouTubers that I watch. One is from Jen Luvs Reviews, the other is Samatha March. I'll include links to their videos below. The idea is you pull 20 products from 20 different brands and you do quick reviews. Now some people have done best or worst or whatever, but I'm going to just do my own personal spin on that because I don't have everything from every brand to choose from. I'm just going to pick my favorites from each of these brands that I'm sharing with you today. So I have everything laid out. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer, see how I do, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so the first brand, and I put these in alphabetical order just to sort them for some random reason. So the first one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is the Sultry palette, which you know I have so much love for and did a full review on this. I think this is quite a versatile palette that can do daytime, evening, work, special events, and this is the unsung hero of this palette. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my review. Okay, next up is from Bobbi Brown, and this is relatively new to my collection. It is the Crushed Liquid Lip, and this is kind of like a hybrid product. It is a little bit like a long-wearing, almost lip stain, but it doesn't dry down hard. It keeps you kind of moist. It feels kind of balmy. It's its own special animal, and this shade is in a jam, and I love it. It's a really pretty, like, berry shade. This is great. Great for when you're, like, going to a party and you don't want to have high-maintenance lip color on, but you want a good bang for your buck. All right, next up is a palette from ColourPop. Now, I like the Super Shock shadows, but they dry out real quick, and so for that reason, I wouldn't put them in my favorite category, but this is the Fame palette, and it is such a beautiful, revved up neutral palette that has just quite a range of shades. Tends to be more cool toned, which is why I love it. So great quality shadows at a really affordable price. Okay, next up is from Estee Lauder. It is their Pure Color Envy lipsticks, and you know, pick a color, any color from this range. This is such an awesome formula. The packaging is beautiful, although my end cap fell off. It had a matching gold. Who knows where it is? Probably in the bottom of some purse somewhere. And it has this beautiful magnetic closure. It's very luxurious. The shade I pulled, which is one of my all-time favorites, is Intense Nude. They're moisturizing, they've got great color impact. They're a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. Okay, next is going to be from Fenty. This is one of the Fenty Match Sticks. A lot of people don't like these. I happen to really love them. I picked the shade Linen, which is the one I use the most. I have really worked down quite a bit on this pretty thick, dense stick product. I like to warm it up on my finger and then tap it on as a concealer around my nose. I like to cover this little sunspot I have here. If I'm well moisturized under the eyes, I like to go ahead and put it under the eye, and it doesn't need powder to set because it is a slightly drier formula. So for that reason, some people don't like it under the eyes. I do. Just put a little extra moisturizer under there. And I like that then if you do that, then you can have one product that can do eyes and face concealing. This I think is also pretty awesome because I can just scribble this all over my face and blend it in, and it's almost like a foundation stick. So great for traveling when you want to have fewer products in your bag. All right. Whew. Next up is from Flower Beauty, and it is one of their blushes. This is the Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Sweet Pea. I was surprised at how much I liked this really affordable drugstore blush. I think it's just beautiful, and it just is such a pretty color. So I highly recommend this. This is super affordable, and it's at Ulta or at Kmart, Walmart, one of those. I really like that. All right, moving on to IT Cosmetics. So this palette, the Naturally Pretty palette, I've had a long time. And when it first was released, I remember looking at it in the store going, oh, I don't know. And left it in the store and came home and could not stop thinking about it, and had to go back and pick it up. What I love about this palette is it is a lot of midtones. So it is a great palette for one shadow looks. It's a great palette for work. They're all matte. So you can't go wrong with that. There's a little bit of warm, there's a little bit of cool, there's a couple of highlight shades, a lot of midtones, and a couple of dark shades. Forget about this. That's kind of a waste if you ask me. But I really love this palette, and whenever I pull it out and start using it again, I'm like, oh, hello, old friend. I love you. All right. Next is from Laura Geller, and I pulled out the Baked Balance and Brighten Powder Foundation. I recently did some tips and tricks on applying powder foundation. This is one of my all-time favorites. However, it's no longer sold at Ulta, and when I go to the Laura Geller website, like half the shades are sold out. So I'm like, is she reformulating? Is she discontinuing? I love this. I think it's one of the nicest powder foundations on the market. Moving on to Laura Mercier. Okay, I pulled out, this has kind of a long name. It's the Matte Radiance Baked Powder. Okay, this is in the shade Highlight 01. This is by far my absolute favorite highlighter. End of story. And I like it, you know, it says it's matte, which, you know, people go, that's kind of an oxymoron, but oh, it's so beautiful. It's so subtle. It's so soft. And it doesn't like grab the texture on your skin. I'm not wearing that one today, however, but I use it a lot in a lot of my videos. It is by far one of my favorites. Okay, Lorac. So I am a huge lover of the Lorac Pro palettes, and I pulled out the OG Pro palette, the first one. I still think this is one of the best. It has everything. Lights to darks, mattes to shimmers, midtones, one shadow looks. This is a palette that you can take with you and do everything you want. This is one I frequently recommend to people who are still, you know, this is one I frequently recommend to people who are looking for a good basic eyeshadow palette to get started with. That is one of my favorites. All right, let's go on to L'Oreal. I bet you can kind of guess what this is. I talk about it all the time. It's the the Voluminous Butterfly Mascara. It is my favorite mascara. I use it in the waterproof formula because I think it holds the curl better and you don't ever get any of that little stuff under your eyes. I love it. And this brush, in case you have never seen it, is awesome. I like the shape of this brush. The curved end helps lift, and then this flatter, rounder end on this side can get up close and do the lower lashes if you like to do lower lashes. Highly, highly recommend that. Moving on to Maybelline. So, okay. I pulled out the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Lipstick, and this is in the shade Lover. There are a lot of great shades in this formula, but the formula is by far one of the nicest long-wearing lipstick formulas ever, and it lasts, like, you could go to bed in it and it would still be on in the morning. It stays forever, and it doesn't in this shade in particular doesn't give you that funny little inner rim situation. This is one of my favorite shades because it is like a basic enough shade. It goes with a lot of different looks, and because it is like a mid-tone shade, it doesn't give you what some people call that butthole around your lips. I know, I don't like that term either, but it is kind of descriptive. All right, the next one I have, let's see how I'm doing on time. Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, piece of cake. 10 minutes, okay. The next brand is Marc Jacobs, and you know I love the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow formula. I have probably 4 of these palettes. I think pick any shade range, any combination that appeals to you. They're all great. I went ahead and pulled my latest because, you know, don't we always love the latest thing we have? This is Editorial. I'm like, why did I wait so long to get this particular one? It's genius. I just think the shade range is awesome. It has a taupe. It is a dark green, gold. It does it all. This formula blends like a dream. I love the packaging. So sleek, so compact, great for travel. I just love that. That formula of eyeshadow is by far one of my favorites. Okay, moving on to Milani. I pulled the Milani eyeshadow primer. So I think this is absolutely a dupe for the Urban Decay primer potion, and it's a fraction of the price. It has a little bit of tint to it, and it just blends in nicely, provides a nice base, and a little bit of color correction if you have redness on your lids. It's awesome. And so affordable. Oh my gosh. So the next one is from Revlon. I forgot to pull that one out. From Revlon, and it is their Super Lustrous Lipstick formula. I think there's something like 49 shades, like any shade. Pick your favorite color. They're like run the gamut. They have some frosted ones. They have some just regular glossy ones. Some are a little bit sheer. Like, they are so pretty. And I've had a lot of these over the years. And what I've just pulled out is this Black Cherry. This is one of their, like, I would say this is a little bit sheer, a little bit of a sheerer formula. It looks super dark, but when you put it on, it's not, it's more of a dark berry, and it is a little bit sheer. This is an excellent drugstore formula. I highly recommend it. It's been around probably since the 50s. Tried and true. It doesn't smell funny. It doesn't smell drugstory. It's just a really, really great lipstick. All right, moving on to Rimmel. If you haven't tried the Rimmel Magnifies eyeshadow palettes that look like this, they're kind of like a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked format, and they are fantastic. I have this shade range, and then I also have one that's like their Smoky shade range. I pulled this one because I think it's the most user-friendly. It mimics, I think it's practically a dupe for the original Naked, the original old Naked palette. So if you missed out on that and you're like, oh, maybe I should have gotten it, pick this up. It's like $7 or $8 in the drugstore, and I think the formula is terrific, and they blend well, and the colors are pretty. They have several different ranges. This is like the original 01, which is just like a basic neutral. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. This next one is a foundation from the Sephora collection. I talk about this from time to time. It sometimes is sold out on the website. It is on the website right now. One shade is sold out, and this is the Perfection Mist foundation. It's a spray foundation. You shake it up really well, and it has this like aerosol top. And what you do, don't do this. Please don't do that. I spray it onto here, or you could spray it onto a brush and then apply it. And it is super cooling. I love it for the summer because it has such a cooling effect when you put it on. It feels like nothing on the skin. It offers great coverage. It is one of my favorite foundations. The shade I wear in this is light, which I think is the shade that's sold out, but go ahead and check it out. All right, we're down to the last 1, 2, 3, and they're all palettes. This next one is from Tarte, and it is the Tartiest Pro palette that looks like this, and I'm going to try not to blind you. It is such a great palette. So many things that I love about this palette. First of all the square shadows are matte, and these are all like a duochrome that have a little bit of color shift. This column here you would use as like liners, and then these all make up like a really good coordinated color look. So you can just work your way up each row here to create a look. You can mix and match. It's pretty awesome. This is one I often travel with when I have a special event because you can do so much with this palette, really. All right, the next company or brand is Urban Decay. I picked my absolute favorite Naked palette from Urban Decay. It has been discontinued, but I still love it. And it is the Naked Urban Decay, it's the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. And not a lot of people loved this. Again, I'm like going against popular opinion, but I think this palette is so great. I love, like, down here are all mattes in like a really nice shade range. You can just do an all matte basic look. You could do an all matte, then maybe add some shimmers later, and then here are all your dark fun colors. A lot of people didn't like this purpley color, but it is what it is. I like this palette a lot. I was sad to see that it was discontinued because I think it's one of their best. But go figure. All right. Woohoo! So, the last brand is from Viseart, and I went ahead and pulled their Cool Mattes. It's one of the original packaging. They have released a new Cool Mattes that has, you know, slightly different shades in it. I really love the shades in here, and interestingly enough, when I went online to look this up, I don't see it anywhere. I don't see it on Sephora. I don't see it on Beautylish. I'm like, are they just temporarily out of this, or did they discontinue this and replaced it with the Cool Mattes version 2? I'll be really sad if they discontinued this. I feel like all my favorite things get discontinued. Like, am I like the odd man out? Like, why? Why is that? Anyway, I love this palette so much. This really was the turning point for me when I went, you know what? I'm a cool-toned eyeshadow girl through and through. I just cannot wear some of these warm colors that are out there. And I like that it has a little pop of blue, a little pop of this burgundy, and then a bunch of neutrals in a wide shade intensity from lighter to mid-tones to darker tones. It's such a great little palette, and the formula is excellent. It is pricey, however, so it would definitely be an investment. I wouldn't recommend that for like a starting palette for someone new to makeup, but if you've been around the block a little bit and you know how to blend, I think it's worth it. All right, let's see where I am. Oh, 1853. Woohoo! I felt like I talked really fast in the beginning. And then when I saw I had some time, I slowed down. I hope you enjoyed this. It was just a fun little video idea that I thought I would do and just share some of my favorite products from a whole bunch of different brands. I upload videos every Saturday morning, and I'll include a link to last week's video right up here. If you're new to my channel and just stopping by for the first time, I would love it if you'd click this little bee icon and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you real soon. Bye!